Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the Prosperity and Health Alliance. I'm your host, Waiti Lightheart, and really excited to be here. Me and Kimmy we both had crazy days, so we were going to promote a quick uh, film, or actually, what to say, a recording that I did with my good friend Keith Yackey talking about his online event, Amplify, which is a way for you to build an amazing sales funnel. He's a great guy. The challenge was we both had some craziness happen in our day today, and we weren't able to actually upload that link. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put this in an email. It'll probably come out tonight or tomorrow. It'll probably come out in your email tomorrow because a lot of you won't get it in time tonight. So look for it tomorrow, and it's a webinar that is going to teach you some key principles that you need to establish yourself in your own neighborhood, and also how to get started in the online stuff if you want to start generating traffic and getting new traffic online. And the big deal on that one is there's some free tickets. Keith has organized to give away some free tickets to anybody in my organization if they want to go. I'm going to go down there to Las Vegas. He's got Lewis House speaking. He's got some of the top internet marketers and funnel builders and content guys. Pete Vargas is going to be there, the stage master. All these guys are going to be down at this Amplify event. So I wanted to give a little bit of props out there to Keith and that, and you will see this in an upcoming email in the next day or so. So open it up, and if you can, it's going to be August 11th to 13th in Vegas. It's an amazing event, probably the best event I was at last year. It's called Amplify. Keith's an amazing guy, and it'd be really helpful. I know I got some tips and tricks out of that place last year that really made a big difference in the bottom line of my business, and I've been promoting online for a long time. For people that haven't or just getting started, I highly recommend it. So without any further ado, we're going to switch our normal programming for another aspect of our awesome program, which is an aspect that comes up really quite often in your business. And I'm going to give you a little backstory to this first. I've been involved with Enagic for 10 years, and it's truly an amazing company with amazing product, amazing opportunity. We're very fortunate to be in this. And you have to understand that we're part of, as in the direct sales model, of a greater industry. And that greater industry is described extremely well by Eric Worre and Network Marketing Pro about what are the do's and don'ts of this business field, this business world, and how do you operate your business with integrity so that people look on our industry as good. And there's a lot of people out there that have a negative slight of our industry simply because they had a bad experience with some people or they heard of something. And then there's another group of people that's had an amazing experience with our industry. And our job is not just to represent our company well, but to represent our industry well. And if you do this, you're going to find that over the long run, over the 3, 4, 5, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you're going to build a reputation of integrity, and that is going to put a lot of money in your pocket. And people go, well, how is that? One of the most important things that you can do in your business, whether you're working like directly in your Enagic business, whether you're working on your home business or some other business or whatever, is you have to realize that you're selling yourself first. And you're making a statement about who you are and how you show up in your company, in your business, in your life, and in your personal life. And as you build a sterling business and personality, it just creates a snowball effect. And people talk, and people watch, and people listen. And by maintaining that, you'll be surprised. And I can't tell you, it's happened to me often recently that I've seen this in play, and it's allowed me to make an incredible amount of money out of areas I never would have imagined simply because of how we've conducted business. And I also want to say this: you're going to run into people in this business, in Enagic, and also inside our industry that don't follow these practices. They don't follow these practices for a couple of reasons. Number one, they don't know. Number two, they're playing the short game. And the short game is they're trying to win today as opposed at any expense, as opposed to planning and going for the future. And then number three, there's just some people that just will never get it. And, that's the way they are. And so you have an opportunity to learn from that and to navigate from that. And anytime you run into it, it's a reminder of how not to run your own business. So try not to put people down or condemn things or do that stuff, because the thing is we are built on a word of mouth industry. We are built on referrals, 100%. And so how you generate referrals and how you conduct yourself is going to affect. So tonight's webinar is a long-winded introduction, but tonight's webinar is on promoting your business with integrity, best practices for Enagic distributors. Let's get into it. What are the best practices? What do we need to do to get things out? Well, let's start with Mr. Oshiro and his True Health philosophy, building your business right. The three foundational components of the Enagic company is physical health, financial health, and emotional health, or some people call it spiritual health, or as I first saw it when Mr. Oshiro wrote it 10 years ago here on a whiteboard in Vancouver, it was peace of mind. So what does that mean? Well, the first thing is we want to encourage people to drink the water to promote physical health, and we want to do that. And I think one of the most important things is you want to be drinking the water all the time and promoting that in a positive life, and just by sharing. Second thing, financial health. Well, if you go out and promote this enough, you can make a lot of money and you can help a lot of people. And if you take the time to build a good system, this will improve your financial health. That's another part. The bottom line is it takes money to have health. And finally, if you have physical health and you have financial health, it's a lot easier to have emotional health or peace of mind. You're able to provide for your family, you're able to take care of yourself and your loved ones, and you're able to contribute to your community on a better level. And I think that's a really simple philosophy, but I think it's a very powerful philosophy. And so the first thing is looking at this is, am I applying these three things in regards to my Enagic business? Am I in alignment with the principles in Enagic? So the first thing is you want to align with the philosophy of the company. And you don't have to be perfect, but what you want to do is you want to always be moving towards that direction, right? Maybe your physical health needs some work. Maybe you need to get a little sharper on your financial health. Maybe you got to work on your peace of mind. Maybe read some books on, self-development and spirituality and things like that. I think those are good ideas. Take a hard assessment of yourself and ask yourself the questions. How's my physical health? How's my financial health? And how's my peace of mind? Ask yourself, the quality of your life is determined by the questions you ask. So let's talk about some rules of engagement. I know we have some new people on the line tonight, so I want to talk about this. These are some areas that are very important from an FTC standpoint, Federal Trade Commission. Number one, we don't make medical claims, no medical claims. Number two, no check waving. You don't wave checks around, tell people how much you make, or put them on the internet or Facebook or social media. This gets us in trouble as a company. Make sure that you don't make income or health guarantees. This will cure everything, or you'll become a millionaire, or blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. Especially if you're promoting online, these things really get in trouble really quick. No medical testimonials. In other words, if you can share what's happened to you, but you don't want to say, hey, this cured my cancer, this is what happens. What you can say is, I used to have this, and I did this, I started drinking this water and taking better care of myself, and all of a sudden I don't seem to have those symptoms anymore. And I know a bunch of other people the same thing. What you can't do is start repeating other people's testimonials. That's called leading, and that runs you into trouble. Okay? So no claims on the medical side. Other thing, don't make outrageous problems. You're going to make $100,000 in 3 weeks. You're going to go 6 to 8, 10,000, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. And here's one that I think is really important. No bashing competitors. And that's a tough one. I think a lot of people get upset and get enraged because someone buys another ionizer from another company. You have to recognize this. Look, there's room for all the companies out there. There's room for other businesses and things like that. There's no need for us to stoop to the level of bashing. And bashing has become something that's so popular in our media today. Journalism has just gone to bashing. Politics has just gone to bashing. Newspapers have gone to bashing. Public TV. Bashing people has just become the new thing. And I don't know why that is, but rise above it, and people notice. And the more bashing that happens in the world, and the less that you do it, the more the cream rises to the top. So people start to see you as an integrous person. They start saying, well, this guy doesn't say anything wrong about other people and competitors, and you seem respectable. You can position yourself as a company, or as a product, or as a person, say, well, here's what I offer, and I encourage you to encourage that, and here's why we like this, and these are the things that we know. Know your industry. You don't need to bash people. Rules of engagement. Let's see this. Here's the thing. I always say there's 3 benefits that we promote in Enagic. Look, the water is good for you, it's good for the environment, and it's good for your finances. Those 3 statements, good for you, good for the environment, good for your finances. Yeah, people go, what do you do? I'm an Enagic distributor. We sell these amazing water machines, and the water is, you know, they're good for you. The water is good for you. The machine is great for the environment, and it's absolutely fantastic for your finances. And they go, really? How's that? Well, which one is more of interest to you? That you turn that around. Which one is of more interest to you? Cost versus value. Do not play the dollar game. Do not try and cheap out your product. You have to build up the value of the machine. And you do that by talking about the machine, you talk about the company, you talk about the sales and service centers around the world, you talk about the benefits, you talk about the tax incentives. Make sure you have a professional referral ready from a tax accountant perspective. Don't play tax accountant, but build up the value of owning one of these Enagic machines. Build up the value of the long term. And if you don't know how to do that, you need to read some sales books. Zig Ziglar is a great start, classic one. There's a lot of different ones out there, but you need to make this the greatest thing since sliced bread. And people need to know to love the product, they need to love the company, and they need to love you, to quote Jordan Belfort from Straight Line Persuasion. So how you do that is you start building the value. And that's an art. 9, promote the benefits of our company as opposed to bashing competitors. So remember, we're an original equipment manufacturer with points of sale, service, and distribution all around the globe. We've got a complete online training. You can go at our own place. We've got incredible income potential. You can set your own arrows. You can work part-time, full-time, or big time. That's what we do in our company. By doing these things, you haven't said anything that's going to get you into trouble, but you have said something that's promoted the value of the business and help getting into questions of which part is you. You've got to make these statements, and then you've got to turn around which one of those is important to you. What do you see the most need in your life that I can help you fulfill? These questions really come back and hit home and shows that you care about that person, and you're going to listen to what they need, and you're going to help fulfill that. Now, here's another thing. Promoting the business versus promoting the health. Now, you're going to do that, and I made the mistake of just promoting the health at first, and I wish I had promoted the business first, and thank God C-Hot Talk came in my life and started teaching me about promoting the business. So you got to be benefit-driven, not features-driven. You know, negative ORP of this, positive, you know, pH levels, microclustering and all that sort of stuff. That's all cool science, but you can get lost in that stuff. Talk about the benefits. You know, I've been drinking this water for the last 3 months, and you know, I don't have any pain in my joints anymore. It's amazing. Or I noticed my skin's gotten better. Or I lost a little bit of weight. Or I have more energy. And you know, a lot of my people that are trying this, let me get you hooked up on it. Talk about things that are in the languaging that people understand. Next thing, look, use the tools, use the compensation videos, use the business demos, use 3-way calls with upline people. Get leverage through social proof, and that's, you know, you come out to events. People come out to event, they make big decisions. You know, you got 100 people in a room, 200 people in a room, 50 people in a room, 20 people in a room, whatever it is. People go, what? There's something to this, right? And again, tell stories that allow your prospect to come to the conclusion you want. In other words, let them figure it out. And what that means is you start telling a story about how you were, you know, I was in the garden the other day, you heard about the 2.5 on this, and you started spraying the potato bugs. This is a story from my mom. My mom was telling me how she goes out in the garden, just at my mom's house, and she took that 2.5 and she was spraying the potato bugs, and it was getting rid of the potato bugs. Now, that's it. And she was telling me that she takes the 5.5 and she waters her tomatoes because it makes her tomatoes bigger. Now, I've just told you a story. Now, there's going to be some people on this line that's going, what? You could put the 5.5 and it makes your tomatoes bigger? You're going to go try that. Or you're going to try the 2.5 and spray maybe some potato bugs. If you're someone in that industry, or I might say, yeah, you know, I was at a seminar with Shan Stratton. He's like coaching 30 nutrition, he's a sports nutritionist, like 30 professional teams, and he's got a whole bunch of top athletes that are using his product. And he was just saying that this is so much superior to Gatorade. And he explained why. I can share a video with you. I mean, but basically he gets all his athletes off Gatorade and puts them on Kangen water. Isn't that amazing? And meanwhile, you know that their kids are drinking Gatorade because you've done a little research and you got 2 kids or 3 kids and they're all playing sports, and you walked in and you saw, when you went past the garage, you saw the Gatorade bottles there. Now, you didn't tell them and slam them, right? You didn't say you're killing your kids. You're letting them explain it through a story and let them come to the conclusion. So why do we do it this way? Well, long-term success and credibility. We're not making anybody wrong. We're sharing with them in a way that they can be more right. If you look at top brands in television, they don't bash other companies. You don't see Louis Vuitton going out and say, Prada is garbage. They're promoting their brand. If you look at luxury brands, they're not slamming. And we have, in my opinion, what I call a premium luxury brand of ionizers. And it's very simple. I always tell people, hey, I've discovered a policy in life, especially when they bring up other ionizers. I've discovered a policy in life, and that is pay more, it'll cost you less. And then you just look at them, and you wait. And they go, yeah. I said, well, have you ever had a situation where you thought you were saving money by buying something a little cheaper? And they go, yeah. What happened? Well, the thing broke and I ended up buying an expensive one. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like this with our ionizers. See, you didn't bash anybody. You just positioned yourself as the premium brand. You're the Louis Vuitton. You're the Rolls Royce, right? You're the top of the line. And by doing that, you don't have to say, oh, those guys are garbage and they're criminals and they do this. All that does is makes you look bad. Another thing is, as an Enagic distributor and as someone who's been in the company for a long, you got to protect the ship. You got to follow these procedures. Don't cut corners. Don't make these things just because whatever. You never know what's going on, but the failure can do so can result in FTC violations. So that's the Federal Trade Commission. That can get you kicked out of the business, your team, or close down Enagic. And I know people, good people, who've made those mistakes and have gotten kicked out of Enagic and have gotten kicked out of the business. And I know people that's gone and received lawsuits and all that sort of stuff. It happens. So remember, none of those sleazy ways of promoting, they're just not necessary. It's not necessary to do it. Switch to promoting the benefits, the premier stuff, the excellence, the value, the company. And here we go. What is it? That Jordan Belfort. Remember, if someone is going to make a purchasing offer from you, they need to be a 10 out of 10 on you. First and foremost, you do not become a 10 out of 10 when you bash other people. Even if you're right, they go, I don't know, maybe I'm next on that list, right? 10 out of 10. Think about someone that's bashing people all the time. Do you like them? They might be right, but do you like them? Probably not. 10 out of 10 on your product. How do they become a 10 out of 10 on your product? You just make this thing. You actually share all the benefits. And you do it in a way that you don't fire hose them at first, but you say, yeah, that's another thing that, like you drip on them with the benefits of the product. You create experiences where they can leverage that. You wash some vegetables, you bring some things over, drop some berries off, bring some new water, help the kids when they've got a little thing. Oh, you got a little infection on your eye or something. Well, let me spray that with some 2.5, right? Oh, I see you got your bruise in. Let me come over here and do some beauty skin with you. Look, it's a hot day. I'm going to take out this beauty mist and spray it all over you, and you're going to feel great. All those kind of things. Create positive little interactions. And, I got to say this. I have to credit my mother for this stuff. My mom is a wonderful lady, and she takes care of a lot of people. And my mom is amazing at creating experiences for people. And when she recommends a product or service, a company, a person, or whatever, people just go do it because they trust my mom. They're 10 out of 10 on her, and they're 10 out of 10 if she'll create an experience. They'll be 10 out of 10 on the product. And she learns things about companies and who runs it and tells people a little bit of thing about the company. Like I dealt with that company, she'd say, and they treated me really well, and I had this little challenge, and they fixed everything up and put a little extra something in, but I said, boy, they were a great company, right? 10 out of 10 on the company. You want to tell stories about how Enagic does amazing things. You want to tell stories about Mr. Oshiro. You want to tell stories about your local person. And you need to get to know your manager in your home office. Get to know them. develop a relationship with them, create an opportunity for them to be a person other than just someone taking orders. And let me tell you, that's going to go a long ways. Developing a relationship with the people in your thing so that when you come in, they got a smile on your face to see you. They're happy that you're going to. Next, when you got all these things left, you have to blow out limiting buying beliefs. Okay, that's another part. So here's what you do. When asking questions in your business, and we're going to do selling in an integrous way, you start general and you listen to each answer. So, you know, we start at, which are the 3 things that interest you? And they go, well, I'm really working on your health. Well, what have you been doing on you? What have you been doing, or what are you trying to achieve? And you listen, and if you can, take notes. When you take notes, when someone's talking to you, wow, they go, wow, this person really cares about me. And when I would sit down whenever I sit down on a one-on-one meeting, whether it's online or in person, I have a little notebook. And I take that little notebook and I make little notes. And then when I come back from a meeting at another time, I can flip back in my book. And as soon as I see it, because I wrote it, it jogs my memory. There's something about writing things down that activates the memories. There's 10,000 neurons used when you're connecting with your brain. And there's only like 4 when you're putting it on a phone. So I like to write, and I like to put those little notes, and there's scribbles and messes and all that sort of stuff. But the point of the matter is, the next time I talk to them, I got some data, I got some information I can leverage. Next, then you follow through later with the answers to the questions. Remember, you don't have to answer anything at first. If you don't know something, say, you know what, that's a great question. I don't know that, but I got some people that I can help answer you that for, and I'm going to get back to you. And then you go get that answer, and you come back to them and answer that, right? And the other thing is if it's a buying question, let's say they're saying, well, if you know, I wonder about that, and you go, before you go off and answer that question, saying, if I was to answer that question for you, would you be in a position to make a purchase? Is that all that's holding you back? Is this one thing? And then I'd say, no, I got this or this. So you need to sort whether they're a stall on the question or whether this is a legitimate question that they want to answer. And when you do that, you'll save yourself time, and you'll also get into the habit of just getting the information. So I'm going to switch over to the business side of this. Now, someone brought this question up to me I think, 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to bring this up tonight. And everybody should just take a screenshot of this. This is out of Eric Worre's Network Marketing Pro. So take out your cameras and take a picture of this. Here's the 4 closing questions. So you've done your business presentation. You showed them the opportunity to the business, or you're just sitting down at a one-on-one meeting. In fact, I start my business meetings with this. I have a little bit of small talk, and let's say I'm talking to Bob, and so I'm talking to Bob and Marie, and I say, hey guys, I know it's great to meet you, connect up. I said, listen, before we get started in this business opportunity I want to share with you, I want to ask you 4 specific questions to see if this is right for you. Okay? And they go, is it okay if I ask you those questions? And they say, well, yes, that would be great. I say, okay, well, how much money do you need to make per month to make this worth your while? And they go, I need to make an extra $1,000 a month. Okay. Now you're going to tailor your answer to around the $1,000. If they say $5,000, if they say $10,000, if they say $20,000, you've got to tailor your answer to that question. When you're gathering the data, you just write it down. So they say $1,000 a month. Okay, no problem. Write down that number. Then you go, okay, well, how much time are you willing to invest on a weekly basis to make this kind of money? And they go, 10 hours. 10 hours. I'm like, okay, so $1,000 and you need 10 hours and stuff. And then you ask them, well, how many months or years are you willing to work to make this kind of money? And they say, well, geez, I'd work 12 months of the year if I knew I could make an extra $1,000 a month, 10 hours a week. He said, okay, so you're willing to work for a whole year if you know that at the end of that year you're going to be generating $1,000 a month. They go, yes. Awesome. Okay, great. So then comes the torque question right at the end. And this is where you're going to feed those answers, A, B, and C, back to them. You say, if I could show you a way to make $1,000 a month working 10 hours a week, and you're going to do that within the next 12 months, would you be interested and going over the program or setting up a time to go over the program. You can do this on a call. You can do this directly. It takes 5 minutes. These 4 things. Start your meetings with this. 5-10 minutes small talk, go right into this. And qualify people if they're ready for the business. I can tell you this, I didn't do this at first. I did this later on, transformed everything that I did. Everything. Unbelievable. 4 questions. Thank you, Eric Wara. You can go into it, Network Marketing Pro. That's what comes from him. Next, countdown to the close. Let's talk about what are you going to do? Well, you always want to use the information that you've gathered from your questions and your notes and feed it back to them. You got to feed that questions back to them, right? Like I just did there. We used the answers that they gave. They go, yeah, that's what I wanted. Yes, that's how much I'm willing to work a week. Yes, I'm willing to work that time. Now you go, yes, 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 because you're feeding them their ideas, and then the close is a lot easier. Now, important, you got to use emotional framing. And by emotional framing, you paint a picture of them experiencing the benefits of the machine, the happy family, the tax incentives, the health and benefits, the environmentally conscious choice, the team finance, the lifestyle, and the financial potential. You've got to paint that picture like a Rembrandt. You have got to talk about it, and in order to do that in a right way, you need to know stories. You need to think about people. You need to see that as the vision beyond just owning a water machine, right? And if you've listened to them, you're going to be able to frame those things back into your presentation. So if they talked about your family and their family's health and stuff, think about this. You know what? 6 months from now, your whole family's going to be drinking this water for 6 months. You'll be filing out your taxes. You're going to get the tax incentives on it. You're going to feel better. You're going to be happier. You're going to notice something. You're going to be doing something great for the environment. You're not going to be using those chemicals on your food, won't be coming in. I mean, you can feel good about all of those things. And you know what? We've got an amazing community. We meet once a month. You can come out, meet some new friends. It's great stuff. And you know what? And we'll put some money in your pocket as well. I mean, it's just nothing but wins, Mary. And I think this is the perfect fit for you, right? You talked about you didn't bash another company. You didn't tell what all this stuff. You frame something with the languaging that they said or the things that are important to them, and you help paint that picture for them, okay? Now, here's the deal. You got to go beyond the no. The sale starts at no, okay? 44% of salespeople give up after 1 no. 22% of salespeople give up after 2 no's. 14% of people give up after 3 no's. 12% of people give up after 4 no's. And 92% of salespeople give up without asking for a sale for the 5th time. Yet 60% of customers say no 4 times before they finally say yes. Think about that. 60%. So let's say you're closing. Let's say you're asking for the sale once, twice, 3, 4, 5. Let's say you're going for up to 4 times. If you're getting at least 4 no's or less, 1 no, 2 no's, 3 no's, or 4 no's, and let's say you're selling 1 machine out of every 10 presentations. If you ask just 1 more time, you're going to double your sales. You're going to double your sales. Are you kidding me? Just by asking that no 1 more time. So you need to reframe what the no is. You need to expect it, and you must see that that's just the start of the sale. Now you're into the sale, right? And if you really want to dive deep on that, I highly recommend using straight line persuasion so that you can understand the psychology of the sale and the emotionality of the ale and how to blow through it, because everybody hates to hear no. Everybody hates it. But when you start to reframe it, we got the first no. Yes. Oh, we got the second no. Wow, we're on our way. Oh, we got the third no. And what this is going to do is it's going to take away the emotionality and the energy of when they say no. Imagine if you didn't feel bad when people said no. Wouldn't that feel good? Next. And I was just talking about this to Kim a few minutes ago. Look, how big is your why? If you don't have a big why, you're not going anywhere in this business. And that sounds harsh, but it is. That's the truth. You've got to have a why. You've got to have, and I've seen people that build a business and they had a great why and then they lost their why and their business went down, and they got their why back and their business went up, and they lost their why and they went back down again. So this is really, really important. You've got to figure out your why, and it's got to be big. The old thing is that if your why makes you cry, then you're on the right track. So remember that when you have a big why, every no gets you closer to your less. When you have a big why, every person you talk to gets you closer to your dreams, your goals, your vision in your life. When you have a big why, every person you've talked to knows that people in this business, that this opportunity is right for, right? When you have a big why, every yes could turn into thousands of dollars for years to come. If you have a big why, every yes is good for the customer, good for their health, good for their finances, and good for the environment, right? What are you waiting for? Grab that why and make it. The thing is a lot of people have just lost their ability to dream. Somehow they just got beaten down. They had some failures. They didn't have the right coaching. Maybe it was the right environment. Whatever it was, people get beaten down. And you got to get past that. You've got to get inspired. Whatever it takes to get inspired. I have a friend, Stefan Perlanos. He's a multimillionaire. He's like 29 years old. And he's a big Tony Robbins fan, whether you like Tony or not. But what he got from him, he has a morning ritual that he does every single day. You can get it, by the way, on his site, Project Life Mastery. And he gets himself into an amazing, positive, super state before he goes out there. He said that's not his natural thing. And he has to get himself pumped up before he does his calls, before he does his events, before and stuff. And just that thing has made him millions of dollars, right? So that's incredible. So let's go over here to how big is your, whoops, we went to that. Sorry, we got that one. So we're going to end with that because it's really important. You got to have a real big why. You got to really go as big as possible and really get this down, because if you don't have this big why, again, it's going to be really tough. So if you do nothing else, get a real big why. Figure out how to promote with the business with Enagic, with integrity, and follow the principles that we outlined here. Don't get into bashing. Develop a relationship with your home office, and make sure you're asking questions and listening for the answers, taking notes. And if you do that, you're going to promote with integrity. You're going to get more sales. And you're going to have more fun. So we're going to turn it over to you for some questions and answers. That I can't wait to handle that. It's going to be a real blast, and then we'll wrap it up. And of course, I'm going to share with you where to get those free tickets for that online webinar building that I promised that we won't be able to do this week. So we'll turn it out in an email. So thank you so much. Amy, do we have a? I'm going here, so. Let's see. What do we have for questions? Okay, Savannah. Hey, how's it going, Savannah? So if you have questions, just turn them on. We love to have questions, by the way. We got people from all around the world, Australia, see, we got, say, hey, Carl, how's it going? We got people from a lot of new people on here. Hey, Mary-Ev, how's it going? It's been a while since we've seen each other. Okay, here we go. Here's a question from Carl. When meeting someone for the first time and they ask you, why is this water different? What are some good, simple questions? First thing you say is, well, first I need to know is what kind of water are you drinking now? One thing that you need to get in the habit of is when you're asked a question, you got to ask a question back. If you can master that, because the person that's asking the questions is controlling the interaction, okay? So think about when you go to a doctor, think about when you go to the lawyer, think about when you go to any professional. What do? They ask you a lot of questions. And by that, they're controlling the experience because you're telling them what you need, you're telling them what you know, and you're telling what's going on. So Carl, what you go back is you go, well, I've investigated 150 different types of water, and I can talk to you all day long about why this water is different. But let me get started. What kind of water are you drinking? Why do you drink that water? And what's important to you about the water that you're currently drinking? You ask those questions, now they've forgotten about the answer that they were looking for, and now they're going to tell you what they're looking for, and you say, well, isn't that amazing? Here's what we learned about this, is what it is. But you know what? I could talk all day about it. What you really need is have an experience. How about I set up a time and I get this into your house? No questions asked. I'll get you started on the water, and you can judge for yourself. Okay, great. Right? Very simple. You get asked the question, ask the question back. Telling is not selling, right? You've got to ask questions. Okay, so here we go. What's your number? Oh, this is from Mary Eve. Hi, Mary Eve. Haven't seen you in a long time. Hope you're doing well. What's your number one self-development book for networking? That's a really good one. Well, I read a book a long time ago. It was called The Magic of Thinking Big. I think that's a really powerful thing, because if you think big, and you see, a lot of people get caught up in tactics. They get caught up in techniques, and they get caught up in, if I should do this or do that. But what really gets the needle to move is inspiration, right? If you look at the big leaders of the world, they're inspiring. And why are they inspiring? Because they know their why, and they have a big dream. Right? So you got to build up your dream. So have a big dream. If you're looking to, hey, I want to make $500 a month or $1,000 a month, that's cool. Is it going to inspire other people? Is it going to inspire me? Or we're on a mission. So that would be the start. Number two, if you are looking for network, I think Eric Worre's Network Marketing Professional book, I think that is, if you practice half of the things that Eric Worre suggests inside his book, you will have a world-class business. You'll have an amazing business. I'm just going to close that window. So sorry. You'll have an amazing business, and you'll know how to be a professional in this industry. So I would go with Magic of Thinking Big. I've used Eric Worre, and then I would go to Tony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within. If you do the Awaken with Giant Within book, I think he has it online for free now. You can get it on free. What Tony does is he helps you ask the tough questions in your life to get you to a big dream and get you into that. Because a lot of us are been, again, held down by small-mindedness, people, families, all that sort of stuff. You got to get past that. So I would say those three books would be the best ones to go by. And again, the last one isn't necessarily a network marketing book, and even The Magic of Being Drake, the guy was a network marketer, but I think it's applicable to anything in life. So let's talk about the next thing here. Could you say that part again? That was, if pay more, it will cost you less later. Yeah, I tell people this. I said, here's something I learned. Pay more because it'll cost you less. Pay more because it will cost you less. And they go, what do you mean by that? And you turn that around. You go, yes, we are the premium priced, premium product in the market. We are, you cannot pay more for a water and ionizer than us. And guess what? Why? It's the best. It is the premium brand. It is nothing like it. There's nobody that has our service and company. There's nobody that has our distribution points. Nobody has the experience and the product quality that we have. And that's why we are premiumly priced. And you go back and you say, hey, well, you know what? We had a situation. You asked them that question of, excuse me, I lost my train there. I went down a wrong hole in my mind. But you ask them that. Have you ever had a product? Have you ever had a product that you thought you were saving money from that cost you more? And they go, yes. Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's the same thing with Enagic. You can go out there and get a cheaper ionizer. I'll tell you the brands that you can go for. And you know what? 4 years from now or 3 years from now or 2 years from now, you're going to come back to me and you're going to say, that didn't work. And I said, of course it did. Or it worked for a while, but I don't feel anything now. Right? So you need to quote that. So that's important. Okay. Yeah. I did, yeah, Kelowna. I wanted to be there. I was on the East Coast and just flew back on yesterday morning, and I missed the Kelowna thing. I heard it was an amazing event. I love Kelowna. It's a phenomenal place. Seha and the whole crew was there. Shan Stroud was there. Awesome event. Yeah, I think it's great. Great guys. Thank you very much. Matthias. Hey, Matthias. How you doing, man? Great to see you on the line. Carl, great there. Great answers. Just bought the book. I love that. Savannah, you're such an action taker. I love that about you. Got some more questions. Do you start people in 9.5 when introducing to them to the water? It depends. They've got a serious medical issue. If they've been really things I don't. I always followed 8.5, 9.0, and then 9.5. So I do first week on 8.5, second week on 9.0, and third on 9.5. A lot of people go right to the 9.5. People who are really sick, though, can have a reaction as they detox too fast. So use your judgment. Kelowna was amazing. Kelowna was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. I heard it was. Wish I was there. Jeez. Hate it when I miss those events. So that's it for the questions. So I guess I want to just reach out to you and say one more thing. Of course, it's been, I'm excited because we're coming into August. Now, this is typically a slower time of year, but sometimes August can be really great. However, why I'm excited about August, because at the end of August, I will have been in Enagic 10 years. I first got introduced to the product, around this time of year back there, and I bought my first machine, or started my business on September 1st, literally in 2007. So I'm excited about it, and we got a great month planned for you, of course. Next week will be the Danny D. McCauley. The week after that is going to be Creel Hutchinson is going to come in. He's going to be back from his trip, and he's going to nail that one. And then we've got some real amazing things lined up for you after that. So we're always cranking here at the Prosperity and Health Alliance. We love you. We care about you. We're delighted that you're out there working so hard in this business. I really appreciate those efforts. Go for those no's. Get your big dreams. Know your reason why. And just keep on pushing. And eventually, you'll get to where you desired. Do the work. See you soon. Wait till Lightheart, Prosperity and Health Alliance. Love you all. Bye-bye.